This is a TEAC reel-to-reel tape deck. I acquired this with a bunch of other stereo equipment. I don't have any money into it. It doesn't work. I took it apart and the belt is broken or deteriorated, and I don't want to get into another project, so I just put this up for $100 as is, and it only took a day to sell. I pulled the wood case off it. These came with an optional wooden case, and that is being sold separately for actually more money than this tape deck itself. Again, this sold for $100. This is a pair of Irish setter boots made by Red Wing, and I picked these up at a garage sale in not quite this condition. I do a little shoe shining to bring out the attractiveness of these huge boots. They have Gore-Tex, great hunting boots, and I believe they call these elk trackers. And this pair sold for $100. I had to use one of these rare priority mail boxes. I don't think they make these anymore for these Irish setter boots. This is a Ward's Airline phonograph. Just a little portable phonograph. I've had this for quite a while. I picked it up at a garage sale for a couple dollars, and it really wasn't working very well. And I finally got around to, basically it was the tone arm was kind of stuck and wouldn't move very much. So I took it apart and lubed it up, cleaned everything I could find on it, and worked pretty well. Cute little portable. I put it up on Facebook Marketplace first. Had a lot of calls on it. Had somebody coming over to see it and they canceled, and it's one of the things I hate about Facebook Marketplace is you have to deal with people face to face. That's why eBay was such a fun adventure for me to begin. In any case, this Ward's Airline phonograph sold for $90. Another die-cast model. This is a larger 1/24 scale metal die-cast model of a 1971 Mercury Comet. Brings back memories for me. Growing up in high school, we had a 70s Ford Maverick, which is the Ford version of the Mercury Comet. What a beater. In any case, I just put this model up a couple of days ago, and it sold for $40. This is a pair of vintage microphones that I got with a reel-to-reel tape deck quite a while ago, and I've just kind of been sitting on these, not getting busy and listing them like I should. But they have little melted marks, lines on them. Probably got laid on a radiator or something. But I tested them out and they're still working very well. And if these were in perfect condition, there's people asking quite a bit of money for them, but they were just extras for me, so I decided to put them up for $40, and it only took a couple of days. This is a vintage Realistic brand stereo reverb unit. Old style analog reverb. Sold by Radio Shack. Tested this out, works just fine. And I was able to sell it to an international buyer in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada for $60. This is a Woolrich shirt. It is made in America, and it has sort of a faux suede collar and leather patches. Suede patches on the elbows as well. And this long sleeve shirt I had up for sale because it was made in America. I had it for sale for about $40. But I've had it for almost a year, at least since last winter, and took a best offer of $25. This is a fuel pump for a Ford V8. It's a Carter high flow. They don't make this particular one anymore. It also has the accompanying gasket for it, and the original box. And I was able to sell this for $60. This is a Kansas City Chiefs hat. Chiefs are off to a good start. This sold right before kickoff yesterday. And I was able to sell this for $20. I bought it over the summer. And now I just hope that the Chicago Bears can continue to win and I can finally sell my 2-year-old Chicago Bears hat. Again, this Kansas City Chiefs hat sold for $20. Another box of 10 cassette tapes used. These are the C60, 60-minute tapes. Not written on, perfect condition, and this sold for $25. This is the last of 3 vintage motorcycle t-shirts I acquired last summer. It took a year to sell them all. But this Yamaha long sleeve t-shirt, vintage made in America t-shirt, sold for $60. This is a short little kayak paddle, about 36 inches long. Featherlight by the Cavanis Woodworking Company. And I've got another one of these. I bought a pair of them, and the other one is a little bit different. It has some mahogany stripes down the paddle. But I was able to sell this for $30. Just listening to the podcast, yes, I do carry $2 bills with me whenever I go garage sailing, and it works. $5 items, how about a $2 bill? Oh yeah. I've got some blue protective tape around this phono cartridge. It's a Microacoustics, a brand I had not really been familiar with. It came on a turntable that I acquired a couple months ago, and I decided to research it, and obviously it sells for quite a bit. I got $160 for this one. This is a high-end Pioneer turntable. It's a PL530. I acquired this at a local used record store. I brought in a collection of about 40 albums that I had picked up at garage sales for next to nothing. And he traded me this Pioneer turntable that needed a little bit of repair. I was able to do that pretty quick, and sold it on Facebook Marketplace for $425, and I don't have to ship it. I normally don't seek out Pyrex dishes, although I've sold them in the past. This one was in a box lot from an auction. It's a 1.5 quart Pyrex refrigerator dish with the green spring blossom pattern on it, and I was able to sell this for $20. Another owner's manual. I sold the cassette deck this came with for a few $100s a number of months ago, and now the owner's manual I sold for another $30. This is a military style cold weather parka with a detachable fur trimmed hood. This is a Rothko brand. It's not vintage by any means, and I believe these are actually made in China. In any case, I bought this at a garage sale for $3, and after about a week, after putting it up for sale, it sold for $60. This is a promo model of a 1966 Plymouth Barracuda, or Barracuda as Plymouth people like to call it. And this one has a friction motor in it. Not too impressive, but it's really not to be played with. It's a display model, and this sold for $130. This is a MCS turntable sold by JCPenney's. Modular Component System is the actual name. And these turntables, although sold by JCPenney's, were made by different manufacturers, and this one was made by Techniques. It's a very high quality table. It just has the stigma of being sold by JCPenney's back in the day. But those in the know that this one is pretty good. The cover was broken on it. I bought this at an auction. It was sort of underneath a bunch of stuff, and when I looked it over before the bidding began, I didn't give it much thought into buying it for much more than $5 or so, and I actually got it for $2.50. And I cleaned it up. It worked just fine, and it sold for $125.